Previously on the Retronomicon.
There must be some kind of spell or curse or incantation inside this thing that could save me from this shit. Dude!
No, fuck.
What the fuck, dude?
Guess we'll have to reach up inside me.
Oh god, really? Feels different somehow. It was all just some shitty dream. No. Now every time I put this thing on, something weird happens. Go in, you fucker. Episode 2 of Season 2. The last episode's anything to go by. People love it when I do my favourites. I could do Worms. Yeah, fucking love those games. Yeah, classics. Ooh, I could do my favourite RPGs. Classic RPGs as well. That would be awesome. Tell what else? Tell what I could do. I could do my favourite kart races, yeah! My favourite retro kart races. Yeah, that'd be a great video. Or how about... Let's go for a real change. Let's go 8-bit.
Silence, douchebag. You're forgetting this show's called the Retronomicon. This is my show.
Yeah.
I have unimaginable powers beyond mere human comprehension. You'll review what I command, or I'll...
You can't do jack shit, bro.
I'd shot you with a fucking gun.
No. That was virtual reality. See? Keep a track of this shit.
Oh, you think so, do you, douche?
What the fuck is... How the fuck are you doing this?
Douche.
Fucking book. Oh, fuck. No. Oh god, it's the shirt. No. More shitty games.
Shitty games.
Fuck happened? Oh, jeez. Fucking... Oh. Nah. Fuck. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retronomicon. Today's topic... Well, I guess it's this shit. I'm not really sure what happened just now, or where this thing even fucking came from, but I've got this weird feeling that if I don't review this now, something bad's gonna happen. So, let's just get this over with, I guess. So, Xena Warrior Princess was a TV show from 1995 starring the incomparable Lucy Lawless as Xena, a god-slaying hero to the people. The show followed her as she ventured across a fantastical version of ancient Greece, solving people's piddly-ass problems that usually involved the overly aggressive actions of some evil deity or mythical creature. The show was a spin-off of Hercules, the Legendary Journeys TV series, which also began airing in 95 and starred Kevin Sorbo as Hercules, son of Zeus, turned raggedy hero to the people. Both of these shows were campy 90s productions that often made silly jokes about contemporary issues under the guise of a fantasy setting. I would go into more detail about this rich and colourful background to the shows and its preceding movie franchise, but I honestly didn't watch the show much as a kid. All I can say is that they're those kind of shows where if you were to watch them today, all you'd be thinking about is how nothing about it has aged very well and they would have better have been fondly remembered as a mediocre escape during daytime television. You know, the kind of show you would watch when you were sick from school and you needed something to watch other than fucking Star Trek or pissing Poirot or some shit. So the game was developed by Universal Interactive, a video game developer and publisher that was best known for producing the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro franchises. Sounding good so far? Let's see how long that lasts. Xena seems to be the only game that was developed by their in-house development team, Universal Studios Digital Arts. So while they have a decent track record as a publisher, I can't say just yet how they handled game development. So let's pop this disgusting disc in the old PlayStation Deuce and see what we find. But first, let's take a look at the box art. Well, so it seems we have another work of fart to add to the Retronomicon gallery of shits to pieces. I suppose there's nothing wrong with the logo and font, which seems entirely faithful to the show. But why is the image quality so questionable? It's clearly a screenshot from the show, but it's been zoomed and manipulated enough to make it look all fuzzy. Like an 8-year-old just slapped a JPEG printout on the cover with a glue stick. Meh, I suppose it's not too bad, I'm just being overly critical for laughs. Let's take a look at the back. Ho ho ho, that's more like it. We get a shot of what I guess is Xena's character model in game graphics. She looks a bit uncomfortable, like she's just shat herself a little bit, but actually, again, not too bad. Gaming's newest action heroine. Yeah, they wanted to franchise this, but I'm afraid there was no dethroning Miss Croft. You've got a few other screenshots from the game here as well. There's a Cyclops. I'm guessing he's a boss of some kind. Graphics don't sell it to me immediately, and while I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, they were obviously very happy with the Cyclops design to make it the largest screenshot, so perhaps that's as good as they get? I mean, are you really telling me this screenshot here is a good demonstration of the game's gameplay and features? I can't even really tell what it is. I guess it's Xena stood there with an ally or enemy, but could they maybe not have got on a screenshot of them fucking fighting or something? You know, maybe a bit of action to spur the poor sap looking at it into buying your fucking action game. Instead, they look like they're about to hug or fuck. Finally, it's rated 15. Really? The show itself must sit on a PG, maybe a 12 because of some of the violence, but a 15? It's just surprising. This game better be fucking violent. Like, I better be running around decapitating some fuckers while smoking weed and screaming obscenities, or I'll be, as Sorbo put it, disappointed! Anyway, let's get on and play the game. I've decided to tackle this review much like I did some of my previous videos, and review it as if we were playing it for the first time together. So, let's boot the game up, and let's see how it takes us to the menu. Jesus Christ. Did you say something?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
No. That was the game, douche.
I forgot about the old EA logo screen. Still fucking freaks me out and surprises me. So I'm immediately getting some Tomb Raider vibes from this opening cinematic. The FMV quality seems about the same, if not maybe a little worse. Of course, it still has that aged, fuzzy quality, which is actually kind of charming to look at now. Holy fuck, that's terrifying. Look at those faces. Okay, so I'm gonna stop bullshitting you and break this down a second. The character models look like they're made out of fucking Duplo. Their faces have detailed animations in comparison, yet look like they've been hit by a fucking truck. The voice acting is almost completely out of sync and creepy as all hell.
Gabrielle, you go ahead. I'll catch up to you in a few minutes.
And Xena must have the sharpest looking melon slicing melons I've ever seen. Move aside, Lara, there's a new torpedo-titted tyrant in town. But wait, I'm moving a bit fast. What did that character say?
So the Spartan says to the Roman, when the chips are down, the buffalo is empty. Get it?
No, I don't get it.
When the chips are down, the buffalo is empty. Get it? Get it?
Oh, I get it. So, when the chips are down, or you're in a difficult situation, then the buffalo is empty, or the bull-like animal is out of shit. Wait. They started the game with a poop joke. Started the game with a poop joke. But anyway, I'm not going to pretend like the look of the cinematics count for much, because we all know what we're really concerned about is the gameplay. Right, we're at the menu. Ooh, a still image with some animated hair. I want to say, nice touch. But is it really? Okay, let's check out the training mode first. Reminds me again of Tomb Raider, but seriously, these were a good idea back then. Who had the patience to flip through the manual? So the in-game graphics are on the rough side, but again, not too different from the first Tomb Raider. So triangle is jump and oh jeez, fuck. Jumping feels awful. Oh no. They feel kind of sticky and unresponsive. I don't get it. Crash Bandicoot kind of set the standard with how jumps and momentum should work. You run, you jump, the input is registered, responds quickly, and you maintain your speed through the air. So why is this so difficult to implement, for fuck's sake? The jumping kind of reminds me of the Grinch that we covered a few months back. This is a terrible start. And this camera, oh fuckery doodah. This is not good. It seems like this is going to be another one of those games where you're constantly battling with the rotating camera. For fuck's sake, Tomb Raider got it right. Why try and fix what isn't broken? As you can see, the camera tries to stay behind Xena, but it's always playing catch up to your movements. So lining up and making these jumps feels about as fun as jumping in horse shit. Right, we made it up here. Okay, so here we're told how to use the chakram, a weapon that Xena was always famous for in the series. So we aim Xena using the R1 button, and then throw the chakram with X, and steer the chakram with the D-pad. Here we go. Oh Christ almighty, this thing feels so fucking unwieldy. However, I do like the idea of a controllable projectile like this. It seems to go as far as you need it to, yet the manner in which you steer it through the air in an almost first-person perspective feels incredibly inaccurate and hard to perform. You can hit things with it as it comes back and continue steering it, so I guess that's the added benefit they were going for, but the perspective doesn't flip or anything, so it's not like you can aim for anything as it flies back to you. What a waste of fucking opportunity this is. I think it's worth noting here, even though we haven't actually fought anything yet, but I discovered that you're not invulnerable during the chakram throwing sequence either, so while you're busy flying around trying to control the fucking thing, enemies can still hit you repeatedly. What this twatting training mode doesn't make clear to you is that you can actually cancel the viewpoint by pressing R1, letting the chakram fly to and from on its own accord, or press the circle button to cancel the projectile completely. I didn't actually figure this out until much later after I read the instruction manual, and it's not like getting the thing to fly around like this is much of a benefit anyway. There's more to be said about what the game includes in this manual instead of the game itself, so we'll be returning to this fucking thing soon. Generally though, the chakram feels like a good idea that's poorly fucking executed. Running around this training area, I realised how underdeveloped it is, and how it really doesn't tell you much else about how the game controls. It tells you here how to kick this car, although it doesn't actually tell you how to kick. I had to figure out that it was the square button, and upon kicking the car, it rolls down a hill and explodes, as wooden carts of hay often do. And that's literally it. This is all the training mode decides to share with you. You could find some little secrets in the area, but these are by no means as satisfying as trapping an old man in a freezer unit. I really only found this sign that says, thanks, I guess. You can also run with the L1 button, but I'm particularly annoyed that Xena can't grab ledges. Not that important, I know, but it just feels like you should be able to. Instead, Xena can phase into walls for no apparent reason. Stupid game. Can I stop now? Is that enough? I mean, this is just painful.
Go ahead, Deuce. Start a new game.
Alright. Okay, here we go. The road to, I guess it's Ebolus? but I have to admit, in my head, I read that as, oh, balls. Wow, would you believe it? I actually quite like these environments. They're a bit angular, but they have a vibe to them that I like. Is that supposed to be where I've just come from? There was no need for this. You could have just left that wall green like the rest and it wouldn't have drawn attention to it. But my god, when you slap a backdrop on there like that, I just can't help but feel like it's ruining the atmosphere. These backgrounds are appalling. The water effects look good though. Oh my giddy aunt, this camera's one hell of a fuck. Just stop. I'm just trying to explore your fucking game world. Please, fuck off. What in Christ's name were they thinking with this shit? Right, let's head over here and motherfucker! First enemy in the game and Xena's on the fucking floor. Anyway, I figured out that you can use X to swing your sword, so we quickly dispatch this tosspot with a 1-2 combo. Nice. That's our health bar in the bottom left corner there, while the health bar of the enemy you're currently fighting appears in the top left. Oh look, now they're coming in droves. Let's bash some fucking attack buttons. Really? Wait. So I'm not hitting both of them here? That fucking sucks. So you can only fight and damage one enemy at a time. Well, that's no fun. Would have been so hard to let you damage multiple enemies at once. To revisit the game manual again, as we often had to back in the 90s, Xena can use combinations of different buttons to perform combos. Usually 2 sword presses and a kick or something. I'm guessing she doesn't learn these or anything, you just have them from the off. So why doesn't anything fucking work? I swear to god, I'm pressing the buttons in different combinations, but the attacks seem no different. Not that it really matters much, unless maybe there are finicky combos that do more damage or something. But think about the potential. They could have had combos that are more effective against single or multiple enemies, you know, give the player a reason to use them strategically in different situations. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Moving on, we kill everything in this first area, find a couple of hidden items that give you power-ups such as invulnerability, and health potions that replenish your life meter when it starts to get low. I do like how you don't have to press a button to use these and that they are consumed automatically when your health falls below a certain point. Nice having that one less thing to think about. The more you play, the more you realise that this isn't much more than a 3D version of a beat-em-up game like Double Dragon or Golden Axe. Just progressing through stages, beating the living shit out of everything. They're simple, but of course built for quick rounds at the arcade, and great fun overall. Feels kind of like that though here. There are a few puzzles here and there that get in the way of your progression, but these never seem to amount to more than kicking carts of crap, or cutting ropes to lower platforms to jump on, or leading a swarm of bees to a troll to knock them off a bridge. You know, usual stuff that you get in an action-adventure game. Yeah? Anyway, returning to our adventure. Getting to the end of the first level, we find the dying Ceres.
Xena, my friend, barbarians are destroying our village, and they're looking for...
Speak up, man. Dying's no excuse. And he tells us nothing we didn't already know. Moving the fuck on. In the next level, we rescue some hostages, using the chakram to kill their captors from a safe distance, which I promise you is annoying as all fuck. We only need to save 4 to progress, so I got impatient and let a couple of them die. Fuck 'em, right? In this level, I found the super chakram power-up, which is supposed to seek and kill nearby enemies, yet the 2 times I used it while playing it seemed to do fucking sod all, and it's gone after 1 use. Useful. I did start to appreciate the sound design here though, as I realised that there was a fair amount of dialogue recorded for the NPCs, which added a lot of flavour.
Save my wife! Now you die! Please help me!
I don't, however, appreciate Xena's battle cry, which seems to happen far too often, and I swear there were times when she would just let one rip for seemingly no fucking reason whatsoever. It's also worth mentioning here that the game's soundtrack also appears to be one of the greatest strengths and captures the tongue-in-cheek fantasy setting perfectly. The next stage starts with some god-awful puzzle platforming. We struggle through some bullshit jumping segments because this camera just seems to do whatever the fuck it wants. Kick this cart to knock over this water tower and put out the fire blocking us. There's also this shark hung up. If you keep hitting it, things fall out. Eventually I got a half-eaten surfboard. Just a reminder, we're in ancient Greece. Is this the game's idea of humour? Fuck me. So we kill a few more enemies with hostages, to which there seems to be no benefit saving, so again, fuck them. And then we eventually make it to the boss area. There's a few more enemies to defeat and... oh look! I figured out how to do this spinny attack. Maybe it will do a lot of damage, or let me hit both of these guys. Nope. It did absolutely nothing. What the fuck? What's the point of including a move that does absolutely fucking nothing? Stupid fucking game. That was weird. Sorry. Okay, boss time. Ooh, there's a scroll. Press X and circle at the same time to deliver a low blow to the boss guy. Okay, will do. Oh shit, she kicks him in the groin for massive damage. Okay, this game suddenly redeemed itself. I'm digging all this ball busting. So the boss goes down like a sack of shit and this dying bloke is like, "We were just a distraction so that some dickhead could kidnap your gal pal Gabriel from the cinematic earlier. I'm gonna die now. See you later. Fuck this game." And we progress to the next stage. And looky here, we have the boss looking Cyclops fellow from the back of the game case, who can't seem to decide if he's part of the sky or not. This stage is where I really started to realise how rough around the edges this game is. So to progress here, you have to have the Cyclops, which is continuously throwing boulders at you, throw one at these boulders that are in the way. How did that not break it exactly? The hit detection on this game is my next peeve. How in the holy fuck did that not work the first time? Fucking ridiculous. We dodge a bunch of falling turds with extremely unfair hitboxes and barely make it to the top of the mountain. Some douchebag appears and tells us some cryptic crap that doesn't amount to much more than filler, and then, whoa! That thing actually looked kinda cool. And ooh, another scroll. Use the chakram to knock the Cyclops off the cliff or whatever. Alright, will do. Oh, come on with this chakram business. I actually hate how this thing works. I really do. I just hate it. So when we finally hit him, we hit his fingers, which honestly took me a little while to figure out, and he falls off the cliff. Not sure why they gave him a health bar if he was more of a puzzle than a boss, but alright, fine. Moving swiftly on, and seeing as this video is already becoming a lot longer than I intended, I'm going to start speeding things up a bit, because let's be honest, you've got the gist of this by now. We battle on through more stages, doing the occasional puzzle task, like I mentioned previously. I did figure out around this point that the attacks Xena performs when you press an attack button while running are ridiculously overpowered, to the point where you basically need nothing else. Look! This move appears to do like 6 hits in a second. So my advice is just to spam these moves and completely ignore the hard to execute combos. There really doesn't seem to be much point learning them. It's also worth mentioning that circle acts as your block button, which is so situational to the point of being pointless. And the dodges you can perform with this button are extremely slow and seem to leave Xena so vulnerable that they're a waste of time. Also, if you want a good example as to how lifeless and devoid of charm this game is, take a look at these cows on this hillside. So the game developers could animate Xena's hair on the pissing start menu, but couldn't make these 3 cows look like anything more than goddamn cardboard cutouts. There's no need for them to be there. You could have just had them not be there. If they look like cardboard cutouts, why would you include them? The next 2 levels were boring as all hell. There's even this annoying as fuck puzzle involving a catapult, at least that's what I thought. I even had to check a guide here, as I was so fucking confused. So similar to what the Cyclops did, this catapult fires where you are, like where you're stood. You have to inexplicably stand by this wall, which causes the catapult to burst open. Inside we find a power-up or 2, an enemy, and a hint that says, God damn it, are you fucking kidding me? This whole rigmarole was just to get a hint that honestly made me feel incredibly stupid. They put scrolls in front of bosses telling you exactly what to do, but here they just put some stupid puzzle in the way, just to make the level longer than 30 fucking seconds. Make me feel stupid, will you? Stupid fucking game. Absolute load of fucking buzzhead. Oh, God. Sorry, I don't know what the fuck's happening. This game isn't that bad. Is it? Finally, after getting through those 2 levels of arse, the king bloke we've been after turns into a moose and jumps into a hole. Pretty standard stuff, I would say. In the next level, we're in a labyrinth, fighting some pretty horrifying spider enemies, which actually look pretty fucking awesome, honestly. Generally, I would say that this was one of the better levels from what I've played so far. Alright, there's not a huge amount to look at other than some shit-smeared walls, but the atmosphere was on point. I like the lack of music and the feeling like the spiders are stalking you as you progress through the web-ridden halls. The calls from what's-her-name echoing through the dungeon was also a nice touch. And I can safely say that I've got kind of invested here. We find the Minotaur finally and have a boss battle. Ooh, a scroll. Use the chakram. Okay, will do. Oh man, this is fucking ridiculous. In hindsight, I should have probably tried to use circle to block these charge attacks, but That doesn't mean that getting into a position to throw the chakram at him wouldn't still be a frustrating mess. I'm just running away, throwing the chakram and praying it's hitting him more than he's hitting me. I died, but at least they provided me with one of these checkpoint crystal thingies so that I could come back and take him down. Although he did kind of pin me in the corner here and hit me continuously with nothing I could do about it. Anyway, 4 or so hits with the chakram and he's dead. Great. What an inventive boss battle. Bullshit. In the next level, we're killing a bunch of Amazonians for reasons, and the game starts to sound like an all-girl orgy.
Gabrielle, look out! Gabrielle, look out!
I kid you not, I was killing these bitches for a solid 4 minutes before I realised that all I needed to do was walk through a door. You call that a level? For Christ's sake. I'm going to skip over the next couple of levels here because they might be the most boring so far. It's just all more button mashing, slaughtering everything and moving on. Then Gabrielle is kidnapped again. We actually fight a boss in the conventional sense for once, but it's just more wailing on them with button mashing and as boring as you'd expect. Then the big baddie of the game appears. Calabrax. Calabrax. Sounds like the name of a breakfast cereal to me. Start your day right with a bowl of Calabrax in ice cold milk. Anyway, so Calibran tells us that she's going to lead a new world order that will surpass Zeus and the other gods before casting you into the depths of hell. No need, bitch, I'm already there. The next level starts with you fighting a boss, Daizan, a great big dragon monster that guards the gates of Hades. Oh, look, a scroll. He's vulnerable in the lava pools. Right, gotcha. Oh, another scroll. Look up and use what's there or whatever. Right, gotcha. I see. So we just lead him into the lava pools here and then chakram these stalactites to make them fall on him. In a very conventional fashion, 3 hits and he's dead. Can't help but feel like I would have been more satisfied with this achievement if I'd actually figured out how to beat him myself instead of being spoon-fed the solution like a toddler. Need I remind you, this game was a 15+. I'm sure any teenager would have appreciated the challenge. God damn it, fuck this game. Now, in hell, we're dealing with zombies and stuff. I've got to say, some of these animations are pretty darn cool, actually. I also like how you can decapitate the zombies, sometimes knocking their heads off or cutting them in half. Although when the latter happens, these things become a royal pain in the ass and completely quashed any growing affection I had for the game. Look at this. You can't crouch or anything, so how the fuck do you hit them? I just button mashed and prayed as per fucking usual. If you hit these groaning zombies into lava, their voices change and die sounding like normal human women. Why? What's going on here? Why? Why is this happening? There's also a load more bullshit platforming here that honestly pains me to even think about. Between the awful camera and Xena's weird jumps, I just wanted to curl up in a ball and die. Eventually I found myself having to fight this stone golem. Wow, he's another boss that looks like he could take a beating. Oh look, another fucking scroll. Hit him into lava or some shit. Okay, will do, and he's dead. Why give him a sodding health bar like I gotta fight him when all I gotta do is knock him into the lava? I would have expected an action fighting game to have bosses that amounted to more than a fucking bully from Mario 64. I continued to the next level for all of 30 seconds, having to deal with more zombies and lava and platforming and bullshit hitboxes, and then died both in the game and inside. I just didn't have the energy to continue. In short, this game is a frustrating mess. I mean, there were just so many parts to it that felt like wasted potential. The graphics, although charming at first, start to make you want to throw up. The sound design, although mostly impressive for the time, gets under your skin with some really annoying choices. The fighting mechanics had the most to offer, yet were fundamentally limiting to the player. The story was predictable and felt practically non-existent most of the time, and the bosses were at worst absurdly boring and easy, and at best a slightly refreshing change of pace. Yeah? Refreshing how? Like getting pissed on. With all this taken into consideration, the game is at least functional and would probably be a decent waste of time for a fan of the show, but ultimately I didn't like it very much, so it gets a retrograde of D from me for dumb dick diddling donkey dump. So yeah, that's Xena Warrior Princess for the PlayStation. Not really sure why I picked this one, but I must have had my reasons. Thank you guys as always for joining me on the Retronomicon, and until next time...
Subscribe, fuckers!